Sudeep. Very interesting question, and I am sure that you know that's a very relevant question to many of the CHROs today. So, let me give you another context. How the consumer electronics and durables market is seeing a significant growth. If you look at 2021, I'm just referring back some 2-3 years statistics again. The Indian appliances and consumer electronics industry stood at about roughly around 9.84 billion US. That was in 2021. So, which was expected to grow to the figure of roughly around 21.18 billion by 2025, which is about 1.2 times, nearly about 2 times the growth, more than 2 times, nearly about 2.5 times. So when you look at this kind of a money that all the industry, the size of the industry getting enhanced to about nearly 2 times or more than 2 times in a span of 4 years. So you could look at that where the jobs will come. Of course, it will create a hell lot of jobs that I can think of. The what comes to top of my mind that when we spoke about rural market just some time back. Now, if you look at to reach to the rural market, and which as I said in the while I was talking earlier, that we were roughly around consumer durable is roughly around 20% of the rural market, which aspires to become a 45% of the rural market. To reach to that kind of a thing, you need to have distribution, rural distribution. You need to enhance the rural distribution network. That's number one. How do you enhance the rural distribution network? For that, you need to have retail channels, right? You need to have your own COCO retail channels, or you need to have your franchisee-owned, franchisee-operated retail channels, or the COFO model, which is the sort of hybrid of the two. So that also creates potential entrepreneurs. When I talk about, creating jobs, I'm not talking about formal jobs. I'm talking about informal jobs as well. So you need to, as a consumer durable sector, you need to have your retail stores. You need to manage those retail stores. So you need to have stores managers. You need to have salespeople. The other thing is, consumer durable means you need to have a strong service network. You need to give the extra mile delivery to the people, because these are all electrical and electronics appliances. So this would definitely, by the virtue of the usage of those products by the consumers, it would have some fault, some point of the time. You got to service them. So you got to enhance the skill set of the service technicians. You got to build an infrastructure of service technicians. So you would have a mix of people which are typically gig workers, or which are people those who are of your own, and you need to train them well. That's number two. Number three is that the moment you touch upon the rural distribution, you need to have the depots and the warehouses which will cater to those depots, to the rural markets, which means you need to have the warehouse assistants, you need to have billing people, blah, blah, blah. The other thing that you need to look at with the advancement of technology, and then consumer is spoiled for choice today. And I think consumer is expecting a very good consumer experience, which means what? It's a combination of, the products, the availability of the products, and also the reach of the products and choice of the products, which means you are competing at a marketplace, which your products need to be superior in terms of quality, in terms of technology. For example, let me pick up one product. I was talking the other day to someone in a fan company. Of course, we don't manufacture fans, we don't sell fans. He spoke about that rural consumer today is more keen in terms of energy efficiency. See, he wants to actually save some watts, some 50 watts or 30 watts. So therefore, he's looking at BLDC models in the fans. He's looking at how can he save energy? How can I have, typically why Maruti sold so many cars earlier? Because of the mileage factor. So the rural consumer would always be driven towards the who pays value for money. So therefore, the point is that you need to have, so BLDC fans all of a sudden in India, Sudeep, you'd be surprised to know, is exponentially increasing. There are manufacturers who are coming, and there are existing manufacturers who are investing a lot of money in the BLDC models. So typically what I'm trying to say is that, so when you look at investing on technology, that means you need to look at Industry 4.0. You need to look at smart manufacturing. You need to look at enhanced product quality. So therefore, where do you get the skilled manpower? This requires skilled manpower. More and more companies would actually invest in terms of building skilled manpower going forward. They will be investing on automating their factories. They will be investing on automating their supply chain so that the reach becomes much easier and seamless. So, you know, so it's a combination of jobs which are from manufacturing to sales to service to kind of e-commerce. E-commerce is another space. You look at the India rural consumer today, rural or urban, they want the product to be delivered their doorstep in the next 2 or 3 days. So therefore, the e-commerce companies are going to invest a lot in terms of hiring the gig workers. So that's another area which I think. So it's so I'm looking at an exciting marketplace and exciting job opportunities going forward for the consumer durable sector. So if the sector is going to grow at about 2 times than what it was, I get a feeling that consumer durable sector will contribute significantly to the employment opportunities of the Indian population.